This is a safer, cleaner way to own it. It transformed gold 20 years ago. You and I were around, Tyler, for the gold ETF in 2004. A lot of people used to own gold and gold bars and gold coins in their basement, and all of a sudden you didn't have to do that. There was a custodian to hold it for you, and that's what's going on with the Bitcoin ETF. There's now a custodian. Coinbase is the custodian for a lot of this, that holds it, and they're the ones that are responsible. If you don't forget your passport, you don't lose it, they hold it for you. So that's the key here.
You got to be careful what they're telling you on these news stations. They're sitting there telling you that the ETFs are a safer, cleaner way to hold Bitcoin and buy Bitcoin. That's not true. The best way to hold Bitcoin is to buy your own over the counter per whatever you're given exchanges. Don't listen to what they say. They just want to custody and control your money the same way the banks do, because they lever out your Bitcoin that you give them and make money off your Bitcoin the same way the banks do. Not your keys, not your crypto. Remember that. And with that, what's happening, crypto crew? Sean's going back at you, another cryptocurrency video. We're going to piggyback on that video there and an update from Altcoin Daily. We've showed you this before. They're showing you this. Shout out to them. But look here. What happened to gold after the gold spot ETF was passed in November of 2014? We've did these metrics before in previous videos. Gold surged somewhat over 500% within a given time frame. That's about a 7-year window. Now remember, gold moves a lot slower than Bitcoin does. Bitcoin is the fastest horse in the race, so it's probably not going to take 7 years for Bitcoin to have a move like this. But look to the left of the chart. This would be equivalent to Bitcoin's $69,000 peak right here. It's sort of a double peak. This would be the $65,000 peak, cool off, then $69,000 peak, and then bear market, ETF pass, blast off. Look how this peak looks compared to the $69,000 peak right here. That's what is in the cards for what's coming for Bitcoin. And we have a supply shock with the halving, and we have rates that are going to get cut. So this is definitely bullish. You guys are underestimating the ETF because you're expecting just a big green wick up to $100,000 once the ETF passed. That's not realistic. We never prescribe to that thought process, but if you look at this, history is not exactly going to repeat, but it's definitely going to rhyme. An update from TA Trader Allen. Bitcoin RSI daily chart has gone down to 50. The last time it did this, what did it do? Bitcoin had a bounce and a bounce. We're looking at this for you down here. Where is he talking about? He's talking about this level right here on the RSI. It's right around the 44.8 level. So each previous 2 times Bitcoin came back down here, what happened? We bounced off it once, bounced off it twice. The first time, the price had a mini spike up. The second time, we had a major spike up. Right now, we didn't quite make it down to this level exactly, but we're pretty darn close. And are we going to see another leg to the upside? Is Bitcoin going to have a continuation to the upside? We'll have some experts weighing in on this, so make sure you watch this one to the end. And then another update from El Crypto Prof. He's saying they're making an ETF sound like a sell the news event, send it higher to him. Well, look at, we come up and Bitcoin hit his head on this upwards trend line and came down and tested it once, now twice. We had the retracements. As long as this line holds, then the trend's your friend to the end. Keep that in mind. Higher lows and higher highs. That's the trend we're in. It's the bull market. And then from TA Trader Allen, what's to come? We showed you this with that ETF of gold. He's showing you this as well. 3 years. Within 3 years of this bottom, what's to happen? Massive, massive price appreciation. So by 2025, somewhere in the middle of 25, are we going to see a 6-figure Bitcoin? How high are we going to go? Nobody can tell, but it's going to be new highs and a lot of euphoria in the market. Now, we've mentioned 2 experts weighing in on the ETFs and what this means for the short term. Will the price appreciate? We have Anthony Scaramucci and also Mark Yusko talking about the ETF being here and what's to come. Let's get a take from both of them.
Number one, there seems to be a lot of selling of grayscale, profit taking. That would be or loss taking, I should say. That would be people that bought the grayscale Bitcoin trust, say the 50s up to 69,000. They're taking profits or taking losses, I should say, booking those losses and then swapping into lower priced ETFs than grayscale. Of course, grayscale being priced at 150 basis points at the high end of those 11 ETFs. The second thing we're seeing is that the estate, the bankruptcy estate for FTX, is unloading into the ETF announcement, and so there's a heavy volume of selling in Bitcoin right now. We see that as temporary. I don't think that you can have 160% rise in an asset over, let's say, a year and half a month, and then expect it to just go straight up after the announcement. So I do expect that supply overhang to be done over the next 6 to 8 trading days. And then I think you'll see the trend start again upward for Bitcoin because the demand is out there. Also, remember one last thing. There's been a quiet period for Wall Street. Wall Street has not been able to market this ETF, and that'll start in about 8 days as well.
So Scaramucci's telling you within 8 days, Wall Street is going to really start marketing this ETF, and we're going to see a trend change from this price fall down, this price drawdown, what we've seen with Bitcoin. And today, look at this major price fall down just from today. Is this a selling news event? It seems like it. We're down almost 7.7% on the day, wicked lower than that. So does Anthony have a point here? Should we wait 8 days? Well, you know, seeing that he is who he is, he probably knows something that we don't. So just be patient. Mark Yusko is weighing in as well on the Bitcoin ETF. He's saying it's here. Let's hear what he has to say.
It's here. It isn't going away. Name a technology that got to critical mass that disappeared. You can't. So this is a technology that matters. It's a technology for the future. It is going to do to financial services and the trust industry what the internet did to media and commerce. It's going to happen. Now, they're still going to fight us. Like someone said this morning, okay, we won. Oh, God, no. We're still in the then they fight you phase.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bunch of salvos, right? Spoofing is coming, right? They're going to try to do to this what they did to gold over the last decade. Gold prices should be much, much higher. But JP Morgan et al. Do some stuff with the futures market. And there's a lot of stuff that we're going to have to keep fighting through. There's a school of thought that this was a Trojan horse, right? I said that people are just going to seize all the Bitcoin. Here, the funny thing about that, and look, I love Max. I do. I love Max. But he thinks the government's going to try to seize all the Bitcoin. Well, but here's what's going to happen. So let's say 20% of all the Bitcoin to date, a year from now, is in the ETFs. It's that's not a bad assumption. If you assume 300 billion, it'd be about 20-ish odd percent. Let's say they did. Let's say by some crazy miracle, they figured out a way where they wouldn't get sued and, the force majeure. If they did that, Satoshi said this before the launch of the network. Yes, some coins will be lost or stolen. Consider those a donation to the community because the value of the rest goes up. So let's say they took that 20%. The other 80% goes up and we get more powerful. That's the comical part of the Trojan horse thing. It's not viable.
There you have it from Scaramucci. He's telling you Bitcoin ETF is here. Bitcoin's here to stay. And there's nothing that any government can do. Even if they do have some type of hidden agenda, he has faith that, not everybody's going to give their Bitcoins to whatever ETFs or hand them over to the government if they try to confiscate it or such. So what do you think? That's the latest from Anthony Scaramucci and also Mark Yusko. But we want to hear from you. Make sure you comment below. We had this major fall off the past 2 days. It's been a lot of red days. If we zoom into the price action, we've seen that Bitcoin has fallen down. At the peak of the wick down, 15%, the current time it's recording, about 12.8% from the $49,000 peak. Are we going to see a reversal? Are we going to see a lot more upside, like Anthony Scaramucci was saying? Please comment below. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content? Go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today. And I'm out.